cooling vents are breathing low as the digital clock begins to slow. No use in turning back the page, trapped inside this concrete cage, counting the hours until the sunrise breaks, savoring every heavy breath it takes, surrendering completely to the slow-moving line, following the borders of the night's design. Just a steady pulse in the velvet shade, resting inside the architecture we made, until the sunrise in the dim room. Let the rhythm take the rest. Let it blur before the morning. Let it fade. Seeking a quiet corner in a loud world, where the echoes of the daytime can no longer interfere. Watching the dim lights slowly fade into shadows as the cold humidity presses on the glass window. No signals left to follow, no metrics to maintain. Just the slow geometry of the rain. Wishing to disconnect completely from the line, following the borders of the night's design. As the hours slow down and the city loses its heat, we are leaving no signature on the empty street, lost in the low end of this velvet space, leaving no trace. Leaving no trace. Disconnect completely as the night slows down. Let it fade. The ice is completely settled at the bottom of the glass. watching the last few shadows on the ceiling pass. The neon sign across the street just lost its blue, leaving a quiet gray where the colors used to. My shoes are kicked off, resting by the windowsill. The world outside is frozen, beautiful and still. Let the remaining chords wrap around my cold hands as the low night slips away into the empty lands. No regrets to carry through the doorway of the day, just the weight of the silence washing things away. I am a passenger in this slow fading scene, accepting the space that opens up in between. Blue hours creeping through the metal blinds, leaving the heavy noise of yesterday behind. The sub-bass softens, the white noise breathes its last wave. The road's chords extend, thinner and thinner, drifting into the absolute quiet. The digital clock on the dresser shows 3:55, then 3:54. The numbers don't seem to arrive. The shadow of the blind stretches long across the wall, like black parallel lines where the old memories crawl. I can hear the refrigerator hum 3 rooms away, a steady grounding anchor to the end of the day. I let my thoughts slip off the edge of the shelf, falling into the rhythm, untying myself. No past to correct, no future to design, just the endless loop of this heavy rolling line. The weight of the room is exactly what I need to mute the loud static that the daylight used to feed. to recall. Just the velvet gravity of the bedroom wall. Drifting further into the loop. The baseline takes the wheel now. Let the pattern repeat until the morning allows. The ceiling fan spins a slow shadow across the floor. Your keys are still resting by the heavy wooden door. The radiator hums its familiar, tired drone. We're tracing lines on a map that we've already outgrown. Two teacups cooling down on the kitchen ledge, living our quiet lives right on the sharpest edge. 4 a.m. is a heavy coat we both have to wear. You're watching the traffic light change through your tangled hair. We don't ask the questions we already can read. In the space between breaths and the phantom we feed, just let the low frequency take over the room before the cold daylight dissolves all this bloom. The ice in my glass has melted to gray. Nothing left for either of us to say. Just the pulse, the slow fade of the dashboard light. We're becoming ghosts of the city tonight. A radiator clicks inside the wood panel room. A single lamp is carving out a circle in the gloom. Outside, the city wears a coat of silver rain, while water beads and clusters on Your old wool jacket still hanging by the stair. An empty shape that holds the cold and quiet air. There is a strange sort of grace in the absolute still. Watching the headlights cross slowly up the hill. The world is unplugged, the wires have gone dead. Nothing left to rewrite, nothing left unsaid. I let your memory drift like a ghost in the hall, and find my peace where the heavy bass lines fall. Let the groove carry the weight. The slow wheel turns into the gray. Comfortable here, just a heartbeat away from the day. Concrete pores breathing in the damp. Blue neon bleeding through the blinds. I'm tracing the geometry of silence on the edge of a porcelain saucer. The radiator hums a low frequency prayer, counting the flickers 5, 6, 7 before the current drops again. Everything is thinning out, the edges of the room are softening. A slow motion descent into the grain. Unplug the signal, watch the wires cool. I am an island in a harbor of static. Let the hum settle, heavy and hollow. We're just ghosts in a room full of currents, drifting beneath the weight of the dimmer switch. Your voice is a ghost frequency, traveling through walls of hollow brick. I catch the vibration, not the syntax. The city is a carousel running out of breath. Just a slow rotation of cold metal and glass. I've stopped looking for the exit sign. Just hold the frequency, hold the space, let it go. The humidity is rising on the glass, watching the remaining signals pass, disconnecting from the frequency of the street, where the concrete and the heavy shadows meet. Floating through a misty midnight haze, leaving behind the clutter of the day. Let the low end wash away the strain, smoothing out the edges of the quiet pain, suspended in the warmth of the sound, where old fractures can no longer be found. Just a smooth glide into the deep wave, leaving behind the heavy shadows that it gave. Let it burn. Let the circuit break. Wash away the noise in the misty haze, before the morning finds the ground. The wipers trace a heavy arc across the tinted glass, watching the taillights of the midnight buses pass. A silver light of flickers casting shapes against the dash. We watch the embers turn to cold and silent ash. No destination destination programmed in the dashboard screen. Just seeking corners where we're meant to stay unseen. Let the wet avenue swallow our names tonight, dissolving our outlines in the blurry amber light. We're moving like smoke through a crowded, dim room, trading our gravity for this heavy, rhythmic bloom. Don't look for answers where the shadows run deep. Some promises are only meant for the pavement to keep. Just a faint radio signal from miles away, holding the dawn back, delaying the day. Merging the mist, the hum of the city floor, a quiet slip into the dark, and then nothing more. The crowd is a river of shoulders and moving hands, but I am a statue where the heavy baseline lands. The green laser traces a line straight across my chest, cutting through the fabric where the secrets used to rest. Every face around me is a smudge of chalk and gray, just a room full of strangers drifting 3 feet away. And the stroke catches the moisture right on my cheek, turning every heavy thought into a silver streak. Let the analog pulse wash the remaining words clean. Lost in the fiction of this loud electric screen, the bass hits so hard that my ribs begin to shake, building up a fortress that the morning cannot break. The neon pink flickers, then goes totally blind, leaving all the heavy noise of the world behind.